Ram Ram Ram. Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Ram. Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Ram. Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Saturday. It is 30th of November and it is Keshava Masa or Margashesha Masa, Krishna Pakshan and Amavasya Tithi. So there are no Vaishnav events today in the calendar. So we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is speaking to Lord Brahma and mentioning about the tapasya. When the Brahma was bewildered in finding the root cause of this lotus flower, and also he was trying to create the universe. At the time, he was bewildered how to create. At the time, Lord instructed him that you perform tapasya. So that was mentioned, that was revealed in the heart, not personally. But after Brahma meditated, 1,000 celestial years, so the Lord has appeared and speaking to Brahma, and then giving all kinds of benedictions to Brahma, whatever Brahma wanted. At the time, he is also describing the glories of the tapasya. So pratyadishta maya tatra tvai karma vimohite tapo me hridayam sakshat atmaham tapaso anagha. So there is no difference between me and tapasya. Tapasya is tapo me hridayam, it is my heart and soul. And sakshat aham, sakshat atmaham. So there is, and also he mentions that it is indifference from me. Tapasya is indifference from me. Likewise, mentioning after that, he mentions what is the glories of tapasya. He says that by the tapasya, I create this entire cosmic manifestation. This is sarga. So the Lord creates sarga, Brahma does visarga. It is secondary creation. But here the Lord says that I create this cosmic manifestation. I annihilate this cosmic manifestation. I maintain this cosmic manifestation. Everything is by tapasya. That is the real energy. So likewise, same energy is used, it is derived from the tapasya. That these are the glories of tapasya. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 9, verse number 24. Sujami tapasai vedam, grasami tapasa punaha, bhivarmi tapasa vishwam, viryam me dushyadan tapaha. Sujami tapasai vedam. So, srujami tapasai vedam. Srujami tapasa eva idam. So, I create this idam. Idam is this material world, this entire cosmic manifestation. Sujami tapasai vedam by the same energy of the penance. So, whatever Brahma has performed, the penance, so far, By the similar kind of penance, the Lord says that I create this entire cosmic manifestation. Sujami tapasai vedam, grasami tapasa punaha, and also I withdraw, grasami tapasa, I do withdraw also by the same energy, by same penance. Grasami tapasa punaha, again. Bivarmi tapasa vishwam, and I do maintain this cosmic manifestation. Vivasa tapasa vishwam, by just the same penance. Vishwam, the cosmos. Viryam me dushirantapaha. Viryam is the potency. Viryam me, my potency. Dushirantapaha, the severe penances. So likewise, the Lord is saying, just by the tapasya only, the Lord creates, the maintains, and destroys. Everything is by the tapasya. That is the energy of the Lord. That's why in our still people are doing the tapasya, going to the Himalaya mountains and engage themselves in the severe kind of austerities. But the conception may be different again, where they are concentrating, whether it is the Bhakti Yoga Tapasya or Paramatma Yogi Tapasya or impersonal Brahmani Tapasya. So that varies. But Tapasya is very important. So this is Sujami Tapasai Vedam, Grasami Tapasa Punaha, Bhivarmi Tapasa Vishwam, Virime Dushiran Tapaha. The translation for this verse. I create this cosmos by such penance, I maintain it by the same energy, and I withdraw it all by the same energy. Therefore, potency is penance only. And purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. So, can I request any unallocated devotees to read this purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, shall I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Purport by Srivan Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. In executing penance, one must be determined to return home back to Godhead and must decide to undergo all types of tribulations for that end. Even for material prosperity and name and fame, one has to undergo severe type of penances. Otherwise, no one can become an important figure in this material world. Why then should there not be severe types of penances for the perfection of devotional service? An easygoing life and the attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. The Lord is more clever than any living entity. Therefore, he wants to see how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service. The order is received from the Lord either directly or through the bona fide spiritual master, and to execute that order, however, painstaking is the severe type of penance. One who follows the principle rigidly is sure to achieve success in attaining the Lord's mercy. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So this is in executing the penance, one must be determined to return home back to Godhead. So that is not that much easy to engage oneself in the penances. Penance means one has to cut down the relationships between the material world, material attachments. I am the father, I am the mother, I am wife, I am husband. So during this time, when the devotee is determined, the Lord arranges slowly, gradually. So one after another, it will be cut. Though we are in the family, but there is not much attachment. Well, of course, love is there as a living entity. And one day we have to leave this material world. We do not feel no raga, no dvesha. Raga, dvesh, vimukta istu. Vishyan, indriya, sharan. So in such a way, he will get the Atmaneva, Atmana, Vashehi. So he will bring the Atma into his control. Vashehi Videyatma. Prasadam Adhikachati. eligible to enter into the spiritual abode to receive the mercy of the Lord. Prasadam adhikachyati. He will get that kind of benedictions from the Lord. So this is the severe penance. So must decide to undergo all types of tribulations for that end. Sometimes we also feel it is very difficult to execute devotional service, but still one has to tolerate those things. But it is a sometimes tears flow from the eyes. So instead of, but still it is not permanent. One has to tolerate gradually that pains we are taking only for the sake of Krishna. So for that end, we have to take because this anyway, this life we have got family and children, mothers and fathers in so many lifetimes before, but we should not take again the similar kind of risk entering into the material pool. Even for material prosperity and name and fame, one has to undergo severe types of penances. Otherwise, no one can become an important figure in this material world. This is just a material thing. People work very hard. I wanted to become number one. I wanted to compete. I want to get this gold medal. I wanted to get the first rank in the universities. These are all they're going through, waking throughout the day and the night. They read so many books for what? Working hard, become a slave to the someone else who is not belongs to his personal life in any way. And he wanted to show off that I got this one, I got married, I wanted to. These are all material. For that, he has to go through so much of severe types of penances just for the material things, the temporary things. But why then should there not be severe type of penances for the perfection of devotional service, which is the permanent, eternal? This is the Brahma Sampatti, the wealth of the Nishkinchananam. This is Yadhanam Nishkinchananam. So here in the beginning, Sukadeva Goswami mentions that one. So this is the wealth of the renounced order of life. Wealth of the renounced order. This is Brahma Sampatti, Adhyatmic Sampatti. It is never deteriorated. Nishkinchananam cha drupa yad dhanam viduhu. Yad dhanam viduhu. This is the wealth of the devotees. So this one he has gone through such kind of penances in the devotional service. We cannot, it cannot be reduced. Neha vikramanasosthi pratyavayo na vidyate. There is no loss in this endeavor. And this Brahma Sampati, it doesn't expended for any material things. It is always there. But material things, money, whatever we have accumulated, it will be reduced on one day to zero. Yam yam madhupadate dukkenu sukhetave tam tam dhnoti bhagwan puman sochit et krute. The Lord takes in due course of time all the money and then he will cry that I'm running out of the money. I don't know how to maintain the family, feed the family, pay the bills. Because the time is taking all the money. Money, time, energy and wealth, everything. But whereas this devotional service, the wealth, the tapasya, whatever we are doing, we have done today means that is your eternal asset. It will never ever be deteriorated. That's why we have to take this one devotional service at whatever the tribulations it is. We have to take that one. So why should there not be severe types of penances for the perfection of devotional service, which is the permanent and eternal thing? This is very important thing that we have to acknowledge. When we are waking up early in the morning, that is a permanent asset. Today is we did it, it is permanent. It will never ever be deteriorated. It will never be reduced. It is always with us. No, by no material things, it will be affected. It is already done. But whereas if it is material thing, it has got a time influence. Even though the fame, if he is not maintaining this material fame, for example, a singer, he has to maintain the singing kind of thing until end of his life to maintain. On one day, he will lose his voice, and if he's because he is taking money, that does not have a long lasting, and he is singing for something material things. It is not a long lasting. In due course of time, he will be put up into so many obligations, and he is not what to speak of so many problems. Again, legal obligations, someone is copying his rights, something like that. So many tribulations he has to go through. But when it is in the devotional service, it is eternal asset. So, and here, an easygoing life and attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. Sometimes we may also think that I wanted to enjoy material happiness and also devotional service, both. And I wanted to sit nicely, comfortably, and engage. But sometimes, um, even the Bharat Maharaja, the other day, he was Jada Bharat. He was also mentioning Jalagni Suryena. So, Nachandasa, Nayevam, Jala, Agni, Surya. Jala, Agni, Surya. So one has to go through the water to perform penances, and also Agni, and keep the fire around him to perform this tapasya. And in a severe kinds of sunlight, one has to go through this kind of tapasya. There are different kinds of things people are going, but here he says that the best and easy thing is the Vina Mahatpada Rajobhishekam. One is engaging in the service of the spiritual master, then it is possible to attain the greatest, to achieve the greatest spiritual status. One has to be servant of the spiritual master. For that, because that is easy as well. So, spiritual master gives instructions and we can execute without any personal reservations. But that is the easiest thing. But though that is not easy, but one has to commit for that to carry out the instructions. And also, Lord always tests that he is more clever than any living entity. Otherwise, therefore, he wants to see how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service. Sometimes we are giving our devotees come and speak on one particular subject from the Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. It is not simply you're speaking, it is you're speaking with your personal realization. You have spoken that devotional services is the highest. One has to always chant and follow the regulative principles. That means you are giving instructions to the other devotees. That means you must be in that position. And Lord, in due course of time, Lord will also test that one. You have spoken to my devotees. Now I wanted to test you. So likewise, He will send different kinds of problems into our life. The problems means these problems we have accumulated in so many lifetimes. They will all come together once. We do not want to spread it to the next life again. So we wanted to completely clear out those things in this material life, in this human life itself, clear off all this dust. So that's why they will be coming immediately as soon as to realize for ourselves. It is kind of examination as well to face. They are coming, whatever we speak, so they are already in the queue for us, whether we are going to pass this test or not. The Lord sees that how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service. The order is received from the Lord either directly or through the bona fide spiritual master, and to execute that order, however painstaking, is the severe type of penance. So these orders comes from the spiritual master or Krishna from the heart. So one who follows the principle rigidly is sure to achieve the success in attaining the Lord's mercy. This is guaranteed. Mam yevasi yuktaivam atmanam matparayanaha. Definitely, you will go to the Lord's abode. So likewise, Prabhupada is describing here. So that's why always voluntarily taking the service, that is very important. It is sweet, but problem will be there. Either we take it or we don't take it. Either Krishna will give the sweet penance, sweet pains, or Maya will give the hard pains. Pain is always there. Maya pains are, it is intolerable. This person is doing something uncomfortable to me. That person is giving so much of tribulations to me. And people are, though I am giving respect, I do not have any fault. Everyone are just scolding me or just giving troubles to me. So many things we have to go through. If we are doing the voluntary thing, especially Bhagavatam, we take the shelter of Bhagavatam. Shoka, Moha, Bhayapaha. Everything will be completely eradicated out because of we are directly in touch with Krishna. यस्यामैश्वरी मायानं कृष्णे परमपुरुषे भक्तिरुत्पद्यते पुंसः शोकमोहभयापः. So that is the easy thing for us. Though it is, again, Prabhupada is mentioning easy life and attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. But still, we can, among the devotees association, we can cross this. Samasrita he padapallava plavam Mahatpadam Vishnu Punyesho Mahatpadam Punyesho Murarehe Bhavambhudi Vatsapadam Padam Padam Jagdvipadam Natesham. This material world, every moment there are problems. It is not for the intelligent man to stay here and to experience these pains and pleasures for longer period in again many lifetimes. So we have to finish whatever the problems we come. We do not counteract. We simply experience this one. So there again, the Shemika Rishi also mentions to his son Shringi, saying that about the devotee's position. Devotees are so exalted. Na pratikurvanti tadbhaktaha prabhavopihi. They do not counteract, even though they are so powerful. They cannot counteract for uh, this vipralabdaha tiraskrutaha vipralabdaha hatava. Uh, so they are killed and they are rejected, ignored, and scolded, but they do not take any counteractive actions. We need to be very tolerant. This is matra sparshestu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkadaha agamapainu nityaha tam titikshasva bharata tam titikshasva bharata. One has to tolerate. They will come and go. Simply we need to tolerate. Do not speak unnecessarily anything. Though we know that we are not at fault. Simply tolerate. If it is required to speak, just only tell what is the situation. That's all. Never try to defend yourself all the time. Just only explain the circumstances. That's it. Never defend yourself. Never counteract those things. So this is the Titikshvaha Karnikaha Suhridaha Sarvadehinam Ajata Satravaha Santaha Sadhavaha Sadhabhushinaha. Toleration and keeping oneself the silenceness. Maunam Sadasana Jayaha Stadium Prana Janasanehi Pratyahara Shindriyanam Vishayan Manasa Prudi. This is Maunam Sadasana Jayaha Stadium Prana Janasanehi. One has to maintain this silenceness. In this material, everyone will come and disturb. He has to maintain the silence. Unless it is required, we do not speak. If we are speaking, only Krishna chanting or Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, that's all. No more speakings. That way one can control the tongue. Sevormukehi jihvadav. Okay, likewise, Prabhupada is mentioning about all these things. So easy life and attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. And he has to go through these penances and austerity. Voluntary penance is required for the happy life, for eternal happy life. Sujami tapasaivedam grasami tapasa punaha bhivarmi tapasa vishwam virime dushiran tapaha. Likewise, the Supreme Lord is speaking to Brahma. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we shall quickly move into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today letter to Hanuman Prasad Poddar, May 23rd, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request any another devotee to read this letter, please? Garange Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Usha Mataji, let Garange Mataji read and explain this letter.
Hare
Garange.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. When you
Okay. Okay. My dear Babaji, I cannot see this way. My dear Bhaji, Hanuman Prasad Poddar, Bhaiji, yeah, my dear Bhaiji Hanuman Prasad Poddar, I beg to thank you very much for your letter dated 15th May 1970. I am very glad to learn that some article has been published in your estimate paper Kalyana regarding my activities, and I thank you very much for this. I have not seen the article as yet, because if you have sent the specimen copy by ordinary post, then it will take about 4 months to reach here. If therefore you send me one copy by airmail, it will be a great pleasure for me. Regarding the translation of Krishna consciousness, I think the following lines, either in Bengali or in Hindi, will be all right. Yours in the service of the Lord. Iksi Bhakti Vedanta Swami. P.S. As you have asked for my suggestion, I would request you to formulate a scheme so that our Indian brother, okay, our Indian brothers interested in Krishna consciousness may join the movement and send many uh, preachers all over the world. There is a great nece- uh, necess- necessity of qualified preachers. So far, Krishna consciousness philosophy is concerned. It is now tested by my last 3 years experiment that this philosophy will be accepted in any part of the world. I irrespective of case, creed, color, and language. Beside, besides that, many of my students are eager to go to India, but I have no place of my own in India to accommodate them. If suitable place can be obtained, at least 40 American and European students may immediately go to India and preach this called in colleges, schools and universities and other public meeting places. I will be glad to know if you can help me in this matter. By separate email, I am sending several news articles, out of which my text with Dr. J.F. Satyal, professor of philosophy and of South Asian languages, University of California, uh, Berkeley, will be very much interesting to you. So we are gradually being appreciated by all classes of men, and the above pictures is our newly purchased building, as I informed you before. इसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की जय.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji?
Prabhuji, here is Srila Prabhupada requesting or talking, saying about many things with Hanuman Prasad Paudar. So he said thank you for Hanuman Prasad, or he suggests about the um, temple, no temple, something project. I forgot that. And then also big thing or many thing he suggests, or he's saying Prabhuji, opening or something Prabhuji. I forgot that. I read and forgot everything. He said many things, and he is very thankful, Prabhuji. That's it, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. You have nicely read. Thank you so much. Usha Mataji, would you like to add any comments, Mataji?
Also, yes, in the letter that there is Hanuman Prasad, so they're sending the post by normal post, then it takes long time for nearly 4 months maybe in this time, and then if we send by airmail, it's gonna be very quick and nice. And then Prabhupada said it's pleasure for me to if you send by one copy by airmail. And he said if you translate the other lines for in Bengali, Hindi, that will be fine also. And he's mentioning other, like I said, please note that he's requesting to that because he's sending his student to India, but there is no place to stay. But if he can make the place for them to stay, like around 40 students, American, European students, so they can preach in Krishna consciousness in there. And yeah, there is his experiment about that. He's saying about that everybody is in all part of world accepting that there is no irrespective about caste, creed, or color and the language. So that is and oh yes, yeah. The article, so that his main language, and then saying in the in yeah, article in South Asian language also university, then if they can preach in all schools and colleges if he sends his student in India. And about the news article, I don't know about that South Asian language in University of California. Uh, that was a critical request.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for kindly explaining. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add this letter? Okay. So this is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So the main point here, everything is about advertisement. We have to advertise the Krishna conscious activities all the time, in all times and circumstances. Um, because so many other material things, they will give unnecessary these advertisements, the paid ones, and it is a business things for the sake of money and how to cheat the people, and people are how to be cheated. So that is the concept. But it is we have to advertise the Krishna conscious activities. as much as possible in all times and circumstances, and then advertise in the schools, universities, and all these places, public meeting places. So our devotees go for the Sankirtana movement in the Nagara Sankirtana for the advertisement, the canvassing all the conditioned souls to come and join. Okay, that is Nachita small Manusheshu Kashid me Pripruttamaha. So Krishna mentions that there is no one more dearer to me than one who is preaching my instructions to my devotees. Okay, so this is advertisement is required and mandatory. Okay, this is my takeaway
Hare
from this.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
The verse, coming back to the verse, at this time of the year, it brought back memories about how the devotee, Prabhupada's disciples suffered. They didn't feel the pain, but they went through painstaking events to distribute his books all over the country. When from the manna, they used to go up north in the freezing cold, and there was icicles in the old rickety van. There was no heating, and they tolerate the basics, but they didn't feel this cold because they were too spiritually engaged with the Lord, and the Lord gave them energy to survive. And today they're still relishing those moments. How wonderful it was, because all the devotees loved Prabhupada. Prabhupada loved them. And the relationship was very, very spiritual. So those the memories are coming back now, because we're very engaged in book distribution at the moment.
Yes.
Just wanted to say that the penance was so that those are the people that will gain their penance will be accepted by Krishna, because they were determined to do it, and they were actually all these painstaking things that we would be cringing and never want to participate in. The Lord give them that energy. We're talking about the energy that the Lord provide for us. And if we are not sincere, we can withdraw those energies. So he's our Lord, and he give us everything. I just wanted to say that, because that's my realization anyway.
Yes, very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji, for adding that point. So this is Tadagre Vishimeva Parinami Amrutopamam. Initially, it may be hard, bodily pains, but later on, Parinami Amrutopamam. And in later stages of their life, they relish. That is the ultimate thing that we are seeing by our personal experiences. But what to speak of beyond that life? So it is always increasing only. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing those things.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, any other sharings, devotees? Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Okay, so if you are happy, from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Bhagavad Gita session. We are doing by ourselves at 7 p.m. And then the devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall move on to the next part, that is Vaikunta planet. Okay, so we shall move to the next part. So we have been discussing the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 16, in the Vaikunta planet, and Jaya and Vijaya. The glories of Jaya and Vijaya are immeasurable. every day we always thinking of by their incarnations, like the Ravanasura and Kumbhakarna, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and also Sisupala and Dantavakra. So likewise, we always think so. The Lord also blesses them. Lord mentions that one in the Vaikunta when he is speaking to four Kumaras. My devotees, they're always attracting my heart by their humbleness. Okay, that one also we see how he is glorifying. If any Brahmanas or other devotees are speaking, and my devotees, they are simply listening to them, even though they are scolding and doing whatever it is, they do not say a single word, thinking that only I am only the one speaking to them. In such a way, they are always attracting my heart very much. That is the status of my devotees. So beautifully, he is glorifying the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas both. So here in the last, Lord is speaking to four Kumaras. After four Kumaras, they are glorifying the Lord, and Lord's saying that whoever is my devotee, taking my name, and whoever is chanting and regulating principles, and if they are not following the rules, if they are just like asadvadaha tat kirtim hanti tvacham ivamayaha, and they will be just like a disease on the skin, a leprosy disease. They will be like that. But my devotees should not be acting like that. Asadhavad kirtim hanti tvachim ivamayaha. So at that time, the Lord also asks forgiveness to these four Kumaras and also says that if something has happened towards you, which is kind of a um, unfavorable to you, then I would not hesitate to lop off my arms, the Lord says. And then saying that, glorifying the Brahmanas, he was glorifying Yasyamritamaleshaha Sravanavagaha Sadhya Punati Jagat Ashwapajat Vikuntaha Soham Bhavadya Uplabda Sudidya Kidihi Chinjam Sobahumeva Pratikola Vrittim Chindyam Sobahumapivaha Pratikola Vrittim. So likewise, Lord is glorifying the Brahmanas, and then further he glorifies that Lord always Yatsevaya Charana Padma Pavitra Renu. He is always engaging the I am the servitor of my devotees. So Yatsevaya Charana Padma. That's why Krishna's dust he became more famous, and it will purify all the three worlds. Yatsevya Charana Padma Pavitra Renum Sajjah Kitakilamalam Pratilabdhaselam. The Lord has attained in such a disposition. I have acquired such a disposition that goddess of fortune does not leave me. Nashrihi viraktimipimam vijahati yasyaha preksha lavardaitre niyaman vahande. But other people, they glorify and perform so many austerities to get the favor from Lakshmi Devi. So, but Lord is not, I have no attachment to her. The Lord says that one. So, while he is glorifying the Brahmanas. And then further today, the Lord is saying here that about the sacrifices. When we are performing any sacrifices in the Yajna we offer many items like the fruits and ghee and many other things. So, but through the face of that Yajna that Yajna fire sacrifice, the Lord accepts the offerings. But the Lord says that better than that, if the Brahmanas are eating the Naivedya or the food, whatever the food is offered to the Lord, and if they are accepting that, then I will feel more satisfied than taking the offerings through the face of the fire. So likewise, the Lord is saying to Brahmanas here, for Brahmanas, the four Kumaras, Naham tatadmi yajamana havirvitane चोतद्घृतप्लमधन् पृथुभुक्मुखेन यद्ब्राह्मणस्य मुखतः चरतोऽनुघासं तुष्टस्य मयि अभिहितैः निजकर्मपाकैः. Very beautiful verse. Naham tatadmi yajamana havirvitane. Naham tatadmi. So not. Aham I am on the other hand, admi, I eat. Yajamana havirvitane. And Yajamana is by the sacrificer, whoever is performing the sacrifice. Havir is the oblations offering in the sacrifice. Vitani in the sacrificial fire. Havir vitani. Chotat grutaplamadan pradabhukmukena. Chotat. The pouring, the gruta is the ghee is poured in the five sacrifices. Chotat grutaplutam. It is the mixed with adam, with the rice. Rice is mixed with the ghee. Such kind of things are offering in the fire sacrifice. Gruta plutam mixed with the ghee. Adam, adan is eating. Chotat grutapulamadhan pratabhuk mukena. Pratabhuk through the face of the um, fire sacrifice. Pratabhuk is the sacrificial fire. Mukena by the mouth. So the Lord is the. So Varaha Deva also mentions that Yacharavanam te Bhagwan Agnihotram. And Agnihotra is the chewing of the Lord. When we see the fire is going through different flames in different shapes, it is so beautiful. It is the chewing of the Lord. Yacharavanam te Bhagwan Agnihotram. So whatever the parts also used in these sacrifices, that the different holes of the, like the ear holes, nostril holes, eye holes, likewise different. Sraktundasi sro ishanashayoho irudare chamasaha kannarandre prasatya mase grahne grahastute yacharavanante bhagwan agnihotram. These are the different parts of the Lord's. The either whatever the parts are used, something like a kind of spatula thing, which is used to pour the ghee into the fire sacrifice, and the pot which is holding the ghee, and different kinds of pots also used. They are used Saktunda, Yudare, Chamasa, Prasirtyamase, Grahane, Grahastute. These are different kinds. So here the Lord is saying about the Chotad Gutaplamadan Rudbhok Mukena. And the sacrificer is offering the oblations into the fire with ghee mixed. So I'm going to eat that kind of food offerings. So Lord indirectly also saying to us, one has to know that I eat through the face of the fire. This is one thing. And then, but here, na aham. So I am not much inclined towards that. And why here? So here Lord is saying, Yad Brahmanasya Mukataha Charatonubhasam. Yad Brahmanasya. When the Brahmanas of the Brahmana, Mukataha, from the mouth of the Brahmanas, Yad Brahmanasya Mukataha Charatonubhasam. And they are acting Anughasam, morsels of food. If they are eating through their face, Charato Anughasam. And Tustasya Mai Avitaihi Nijakarma Pakaihi. Tustasya Mai. Then I am more satisfied. Tustasya, satisfied. Mai, unto me. Avihitaihi, and offered. Nijakarma Pakaihi. That is the Nijakarma, is my own activities. Pakaihi, by the results. Very beautiful thing. So here the Lord is more satisfied when the offerings are eaten by the Brahmanas than offerings are poured into the fire sacrifice. In such a way, the Lord is saying, Naham tatadmi yajamana havirvitane chotad grutaplamadan prudbhokmukena yad brahmanasya mukataha charato nagasam tustasya mayavidehi nijakarma patehi. The translation for this was, I do not enjoy the oblations offered by the sacrificers in the sacrificial fire, which is one of my own mouths, with the same relish as I do the delicacies overflowing with ghee, which are offered to the mouths of the Brahmanas who have dedicated to me the results of their fruitive results of their activities and who are never satisfied with my prasada. Who are sorry who are ever satisfied with my prasada. So Brahmanas first they offer to the Lord and then they only take the prasada. So they're always satisfied with just prasada only. They don't go for I want to eat this snacks, that chips, and those snacks. So many things are coming and which will ruin the body and the health. It will reduce the lifespan. Different kinds of spices, they are agitating the different modes, mode of passion and ignorance. Never eat the snacks which are selling in the shops and all those things, unless we are starving to death. So here, whatever is offered to the Lord, so Brahmanas only accept and satisfy with that prasada, who are ever satisfied with my prasada. So likewise, Lord is saying to four Kumaras, can you request other devotee take a turn to read the purport, please? Anyone would like to read purport?
Shri Prabhuji. The devotee purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. The devotee of the Lord or the Vaishnava does not take anything without offering it to the Lord. Since a Vaishnava dedicates all the results of his activities to the Lord, he does not taste anything eatable which is not first offered to him. The Lord also relishes giving to the Vaishnava's mouth all eatables offered to him. It is clear from this verse that the Lord eats through the sacrificial fire and the Brahmana's mouth. So many articles, grains, geese, etc., are offered in sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord. The Lord accepts sacrificial offerings from the Brahmanas and devotees, and elsewhere it is stated that whatever is given for the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas to eat is also accepted by the Lord. But here it is said that he accepts offering to the house of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas with even greater relish. The best example of this is found in the life of Advaita Prabhu in his dealing with Haridasa Thakura. Even though Haridasa was born of a Mohammedan family, Advaita Prabhu offered him the first dish of prasada after the performance of a sacred fire ceremony. Haridas Thakura informed him that he was born of Mohammedan family and asked why Advaita Prabhu was offering the first dish to a Mohammedan instead of an elevated Brahmana. Out of his humbleness, Haridas condemned himself as a Mohammedan, but Advaita Prabhu, being an experienced devotee, accepted him as a real Brahmana. Advaita Prabhu asserted that by offering the first dish to Haridasa Thakura, he was getting the result of feeding 100,000 Brahmanas. The conclusion is that if one can feed a Brahmana or Vaishnava, it is better than performing hundreds of thousands of sacrifices. In this age, therefore, it is recommended that Hare Nama chanting the holy name of Lord, and pleasing the Vaishnavas are the only means to elevate oneself to spiritual life. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Jaya. Thank you, Mataji. So here, in our Vedic life or the Sanatana Dharma, so the process is we perform bhajans at home and invite the Vaishnavas to do Hari Bhajan, Hari Kirtan, Hari Nam Sankirtan at the end. We distribute the prasadam. So there are many devotees who have sold all their properties only to feed the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas after performing the Harinama Sankirtana. So we have seen in India, in the places wherever we see such kind of devotees just to feed the Vaishnavas. And also whenever the Kulashekara Alwar was also one of the example. He used to invite all the Vaishnavas. They used to come and eat and do bhajans. So there is a pastime how some of the ministers they did not like even though he is serving all the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, but there is again pastime of it and how they wanted to get rid of these people from the palace of Kulshekara. But still, but Kulshekara, he always supports the Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas, they never do any mistake. Again, Lord is always with them. That was also proved like, again, they wanted to put some kind of a um, Ninda on top of these Vaishnavas and they wanted to get rid of from the palace. So thinking that they have hidden some of the jewels that these people have stolen, and then Kulashekara still he does not believe, but they will put that. Okay, so if you just bring one pot and put a poisonous snake in there, I'll put my hand. If the Vaishnavas stole this jewels, then the snake will bite me. Otherwise, it does not bite me. And then they did that one. And Kulshekhar Alwar also, he was trying to put that one. So this later on the ministers, they have realized it's such an exalted position Kulshekhar Alwar is. Vaishnavas, they never make any mistakes. Unknowingly, if something is happening, so the Lord will correct the situation. So likewise, he was feeding all the Vaishnavas. And if we go to the temples also, there is so many Annadana. So when the devotees are eating, so the Lord he satisfies very much. These are accepted by the Lord. So here, but Vaishnavas does not take anything without offering it to the Lord. Since a Vaishnava dedicates all the results of his activities to the Lord, he does not taste anything eatable which is not first offered to him. This way, one he controls his tongue, his consciousness, everything. Oh, everything is offered unto the Lord, Krishna. The Lord relishes giving to the Vaishnava's mouth all eatables offered to him. The Lord relishes also giving to the Vaishnava's mouth all eatables offered to him. So here it is clear from this verse that the Lord eats through the sacrificial fire and the Brahmana's mouth. So many, and here that's why the house satsangas, when we are performing satsangas at home, we invite and prepare all palatable dishes and give it to the devotees there. So we need to understand here the Lord is only accepting. Yad brahmanasya mukataha charutonugasam tustasya mai avhitaihi nijakarmapakaihi. When the devotees accepted that offering and ate that prasadam, and then they feel satisfaction is so blissful, then whatever the happiness they are experiencing through, if there are 100 devotees are eating the prasada, the happiness of 100 devotees will also reflect in the whoever is the host, the devotee, whoever is hosting that program. So this is the again blessings of the Lord. We should not see that this much money is going on, this much of uncomfort is going on, and it requires so much of hard work. We should not feel like that. This is very but happiness you we get, it is unlimited. Lord is directly accepting that food through the mouths of the Vaishnavas. And here so many articles, grains, ghee, etc. are offered in sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord. Some people they say that instead of pouring all this ghee and fruits and grains in this sacrifice, why don't you give it to the poor man? Some people will come up like that with a materialistic ideas. There is a demonic thing, but they do not understand the logic behind it. When the Lord is happy, this annad bhavanti bhutani padjanyad anna sambhavaha yajnad bhavati padjanyo yajna karma samudbhavaha. And this karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. This karma comes from the Brahma, that is from the Vedas. That is how these activities are performed. Brahmaksharam samudbhavam. And this Vedas comes from the Aksharam samudbhavam from the Lord directly. That's why Tasma Sarvagatam Brahma, the Supreme Lord, He is always there. He is always in the Yajna Tishtati. So he is always existing in the terms of the karma. So sometimes we call karma yoga. This karma yoga means activities are Veda Vihita karma according to the Vedic injunctions. Vedas comes from the Lord. In such a way, when we are performing as a matter of duty, the Lord is always present. He is not different, not separate from our activities. In such a way, He is maintaining all the living entities. That's why the rains are coming. Annat bhavanti bhutani padjanyad anna sambhavaha yajnat bhavati padjanyo yajna karma samudbhavaha. Everything comes through the sacrifices. So and then further, yeah, the Lord accepts sacrificial offerings from the Brahmanas and devotees. And elsewhere it is stated that whatever is given for the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas is to eat also accepted by the Lord. He also eats that one. Yeah, it is very beautiful when we are eating with the Lord and feeling that experience. It is beyond our measures. But here it is said that he accepts offerings to the mouths of the Brahmanas. And also here, Chaturveda Bhajante what is that? Chaturveda Bhagavad Prasada Swadhanna Truptan Haribhakta Sangan Krutvaiva Truptim Bhajita Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. Again, that is also one of our in the morning. What is that one? Guru Astakam. So, and here, but here it is said that he accepts offerings to the mouths of the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas even greater relish. With even greater relish. He accepts and even greater relish as well. So the best example of this is found in the life of Advaita Prabhu. And whenever Advaita Acharya, he uh, what is happening here? This is, I think I need to read this a little bit. Okay. When the Advaita Acharya, he is inviting Haridas Thakur for the prasada to accept the prasada. At that time, where is that one? Yes, Haridas Thakur. And Haridas Thakur was so humble and he was mentioning, but actually he was a greater Vaishnava. And then Advait Prabhu, he asserted that by offering the first dish to Haridas Thakur, giving different reasons, that the devotee of the Lord is always very pure. We need to feed such kind of people. He was getting the result of feeding 100,000 Brahmanas. See, that is the Vaishnava's position. And here, whenever Ambarish Maharaj, so we also see that he wanted to offer it to Brahmana before he eats. So in such, his position is all that way. First, he wanted not only Durvasa Muni, and he was also feeding so many other people as well, other Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. But actually, he was the special guest. Durvasa Muni was the special guest. But he was not happy by whenever he took a sip of water. Of course, there is again another pastime. But here, when we are feeding the Vaishnavas, he was getting the result of feeding 100,000 Brahmanas. So conclusion is that one can feed a Brahmana or Vaishnava. It is better than performing hundreds and thousands of sacrifices. So one has to spend all of his wealth to perform Sankirtana, giving the books and distribute the books, and then invite all the Vaishnavas every week. It is possible, or every day, if it is too much. Yeah, there are levels of again consciousness and based on time, place, and circumstances. So in this age, therefore, it is recommended that Hare Nama, chanting the holy name of God, and pleasing the Vaishnava are only the means to elevate oneself to spiritual life. So these are the very beautiful verse the Lord is saying to the four Kumaras. So Naham Tadadmi Yajman Havirvitani Chotad Vrutaplamadan Bhukmukena Yad Brahmanasyam Mukataha Charatonugasam Tustasya Mai Avhitaihi Nijakarma Pakaihi. Very beautiful word, and also it is a tongue twisting words are there. I request dear devotees, you would like to recite this verse. Sure. Would you like to, Usha Mataji, would you like to start? I'll turn on this Devanagari as well. First I will repeat and then you do it. I do 3 times. We all do together 3 times. You follow me and then later on you take the turns to recite this verse. Wherever it is possible, dear devotees, kindly unmute and follow me. Naham tatadmi yajamana havirvitane
Naham tatadmi yajamana lahavirvitani
Chotadgrutapla hృదభుక్ముఖేన
yutadgrita bhutam idam hutabhumukena
यद्ब्राह्मणस्य मुखतः चरतोऽनुघासम्
yadbrahmanasya
यद्ब्रह्मणस्य
mukatas
मुखात्
charatonukasam
तुष्टस्य मयि अभिहितैः निजकर्मपाकैः
tustasya
तुस्तस्य मया
nijakarma pakahi kaihi
कर्म
kaihi. Yeah.
नाहं तदात्मि यजमानहविर्विताने
Naham
अहं
tatadmi
तदादमि
yajamana
यजमाना
havirvitani
हविर्वितानि
चोतद्गृतप्लमदन् हृद्भुक्मुखेन
Shyotat
श्योतात्मजातं
mukena
अदन्होतं मुखेन
यद्ब्राह्मणस्य मुखतः चरतोऽनुघासम्
yadbrahmanasya
यद्ब्रह्मणस्य
mukatas
मुखातः सचरतो
charatonukasam
नवहासम्
तुष्टस्य मयि अभिहितैः निजकर्मपाकैः
तुस्तस्य
tasya
मयि
mai nijakarma kahi
अवहितैर्निजकर्मपकाहे
kahi.
Once more. नाहं तदाद्मि यजमानहविर्विताने
Naham tatadmi
नाहं
yajamana havirvitani
यजमानहविर्वितानि
चोतद्गृतप्लमदन् हृदभुक्मुखेन
Shyotat
श्योतद्भद्रप्लवनम्
mukena
अदन्होतमुखेन
यद्ब्राह्मणस्य मुखतः चरतोऽनुघासम्
yadbrahmanasya
यद्ब्रह्मणस्य
mukatas
मुखातः सचरतो
charatonukasam
नवहासम्
तुष्टस्य मयि अभितैः निजकर्मपाकैः
तुस्तस्य मयि
nijakarma pakahi.
अवहितैर्निजकर्मपकाहे
Very beautiful. Can I request now take the turns, please, one after another? Usha Mataji, you wanted to go?
तस्मै यजमानवे पिताने च्युतद्रुतप्लुतमदनकृतपुङ्खेन यद्ब्राह्मणस्य मुखचरतोऽनुघासम् तुष्टस्य मय्या विधेर्निजकर्मपाकैः.
Very nice, very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Dhyana Kanya Mataji, would you like to go next?
Hare Krishna. Naham tatadmi yajamana havirvitane Shyotad grata plutam madan hutabhun mukena yad brahmanasya mukatas charoto nugasam tustasya maya bahirtar nijakarma pakaya.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. Can I request next, Gauringi Mataji?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी के नाहं तद्यादि यजमानः वीर्भितानि शोचादघृतप्लुतमदन्हुतभुङ्मुखेन यद्ब्राह्मणस्य मुखात् तत्सरतो न पृष्ठास्य मत्या बहिर्ते निजकर्मपाकैः.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Mataji. Can I request Prabhavati Mataji, please? If available.
नाहं तदामि यजमानहविर्विताने स्तोताद्ग्रता प्लुतम् अदन्हुता भुन्मुखेन यद्ब्राह्मणस्य मुखतश्चरतोऽनुग्रासं दुस्तस्य मयि अवहितैर्निजकर्मपाकैः. Thank you.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. Asha Mataji, please.
It's a bit hard, I'll try.
Yes.
नाहं तथामि यजमान हविवितानि स्कोतग्रहे प्लुतम् अदं हुद भूरिमुखेन यत् ब्राह्मणस्य मुखाशचरदो न केशम् तथा शस्यमाय अवैता निजकर्म पकेन.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. नाहं तथाद्मि यजमान हविर्वितानि चोतद्भृतप्लवमदन् प्रभुक्मुखेन यद्ब्राह्मणस्य मुखतः चरतोऽनुघासं तुष्टस्य मयि अविहितैः निजकर्मपाकैः. Very beautiful words. So, Asha Mataji, would you like to read the translation once again?
Translation problem. I do not enjoy the oblations offered by the sacrifices in the sacrificial fire, which is one of my own mouth, with the same relish as I do the delicacies overflowing with ghee which are offered to the mouths of the Brahmanas who have dedicated to me the results of their activities and who are ever satisfied with my prasada.
Thank you, Mataji. So, any questions or any reflections in this letter, or you wanted to add anything? Devotees, kindly share and ask any questions.
Sorry, Prabhu, I understand it a lot better this second time round. It's so beautiful. You are so correct. So I was questioning the mouth of the Brahmanas, not realizing. I mean, this is what I concluded what it was, but it actually confirmed it the second time round. The mouth of the fire.
Yes.
Yeah, this is such a beautiful verse. Oh my goodness, you are so correct. It's lovely. So that's why we need to go over it again and again to get the essence of it.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah. So always the recommendation is recite the verse 3 times, read the translation, again go back to the once more time as much as possible, again read the translation and purport. Then we understand.
Yeah.
Very
I
good.
mean, I was wanting to ask you what it means, but there is. It explains it beautifully.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Any other sharings or dear devotees? Prabhavati Mataji?
No, Prabhuji, actually, this is, as Mataji said, and you said, it's really beautiful verse, and it's more understanding, actually. As you said, we have to read verse a few times and read the translation. And I didn't know that Lord is so much into, the Brahmanas. So it's very nice to know, Prabhuji.
Yes. So this
The
is
reason Lord is explaining here himself. He's more into Brahmanas. He is not very satisfied eating on his own, but when his devotees have, then he relishes more, which is very nice. Thank you so much.
yes, is even greater relish. So that is the beauty. So that's why when the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas generally they do not go and eat in everyone's home. They do not like to eat in the karmi's home, something like that. They eat only in the devotee's home only. And sometimes sannyasis they will wandering. They also do not go to the karmis, but only they go to the devotee's home. And also, if we do not, if we wanted to feed the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, if we do not have an opportunity or we can't facilitate that, then give an offering in the temple for the Annaprasada.
Yeah.
So that is possible to take part in that great activity.
And Prabhu, I don't know if it's in the passage or you said it, that when you're preparing the prasadam, if you begrudgingly do it, you kind of thinking, oh, I don't feel like it today. Have I got to do it? And all that. I have been through that in the past, but I'm very conscious of it. I have to do it with my whole heart. And because, in our material life, in the past, I used to just settle for anything for myself, not even thinking of the Lord when I'm feeding myself. But now I've become so conscious of it. It's so beautiful because it gives you that opportunity to think of the Lord all the time, because it was an area I was finding it difficult to. So, I used to question, how can you think of the Lord all the time when you engage with all these activities in your material activities? And it is, if you're conscious of it, you will change your mind and make an extra effort. I find that anyway. It's so beautiful. The Lord shows you the way if you want to, and you're intending to, even if you're in a hurry, and you sometimes do small amounts. And I tend to do 5 offerings, but I don't always have the time to do it. But the Lord knows your intention.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. That is the realizations. Asha Mataji and Musha Mataji wanted to add anything?
Very beautiful verse, Prabhu. Just when you read again and then you can listen again and you understand more. So in days, Prabhu, that was like when you sacrifice and giving to the like when you do puja or anything and you offer the ghee or milk and you said you wasting that one and you have to give it to the poor. Yes, you said that they don't understand why we give that ghee sacrifices or milk or giving to, and they said, yeah, wasting. But it's true, Prabhu, the Lord is eating in that way.
Yes.
So,
And also sometimes in the villages, the sannyasis, sadhus, they come for the bhikshu for wandering and take the prasada. We should not, though sometimes they visit the karmis homes as well. Sometimes they say we don't have uh, it is a very regular custom in our village when I was childhood. Sometimes the parents they're very busy. We don't have you have already come. Just go. We don't have food, something like that. Sometimes the women or the men they say like that. But sometimes with so much of compassionate heart, they'll bring the food which is cooked freshly and it will offer it to those sadhus. It is the every day we used to see one or two sadhus, or it may not be the pure devotees of the Lord, but still they are surviving on that, but begging on the food from the different homes. But we should not say on their face that uh, anything that which is not pleasing to them. But at least we can give some water or pleasing words and then pacify them so that Lord will be pacified. We see only the Lord in the heart of all the living entities, not the body. That is another reflection. But if a sadhu is there, and if you are offering something, and if you are feeding them, feeding the sadhus, actually the Lord is accepting. So that also will come. We will see in these beauties of the Lord is glorifying Brahmanas and Vaishnavas further. Okay, so that is from this verse.
I don't know. Difficult to try. In South, most of the temples, when you visit, like we have a temple in Udupi, Krishna temple, Lord Krishna's temple. So they offer prasadam for everyone, annadan, in the afternoon, in the night. So I don't know, maybe is it offered to the Lord? Can we all accept that one? I used to have all the time before, but recently, whenever I go there, it's not because of that I don't want to eat. I never had a chance. But is it still okay to have prasadam there?
Yes, Mataji. So as long as it is Krishna's temple, Krishna's kitchen, whatever comes from Krishna's kitchen, it means he is the Lord of everything. We can take it without any hesitation. Similarly, the Tirumala temples, the Srirangam temple, wherever the temples we go, Vishnu temples, whatever they're offering, without any hesitation, just take everything without leaving a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Goringi Mataji wanted to mention anything on the prasadam and eating and feeding the devotees.
Sorry, Prabhuji, can you say again, please, Prabhuji?
Would you like to mention anything on feeding the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas? And
Yes, Prabhuji. Is Vaishnava Brahmanas, if we give to prasadam them, then we got very thankful and we get mercy from them. Then our Pitris who die before than us, then they will get tripti and they will happy to us, Prabhuji. I think about that. We should do, if we can, we do Brahmana Seva and Vaishnava Seva, Prabhuji. I think about that, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, very nice. Yes, Mataji. Okay, so very beautiful things. Asha Mataji, you wanted to add anything?
Are we allowed to eat the prasadam from Lord Shiva's temple then? You visit to?
So, Lord Shiva's temples, we need to question the sanctity of the food
Okay.
and whoever is preparing, what is their consciousness. Uh, so, but we can accept the fruits, such kind of things, but preparation of the prasadam, we need to be very careful. We do not reject or we do not disrespect anything, but why Shiva is the Vaishnavanam Yatashambho. So we do not disrespect, we take the fruits from them, and but whoever is preparing their consciousness, generally the materialistic people who wanted to have uh, material things, more and more sense enjoyment, they would approach Lord Shankara for giving more benedictions. If there's such kind of people are engaged in preparing the prasadam, we need to be careful. We can take only the fruits, a banana, an apple, orange, those kind of fruits as an of prasadam, and be satisfied with that one.
This is for the initiated devotees, for all the devotees.
It is all the devotees. It's because devotees means they are chanting 16 rounds, following the regulative principles very strictly and without any mode of passion and ignorance, only for the satisfaction of the Lord.
Okay, Prabhu.
So that prasadam is more sanctified. So mm, that is prasad. But prasada is prepared in somewhere else by someone else who is not Krishna consciousness. The sanctity is questioned, the purity is questioned. With what consciousness? Because they have got material, uh, their mind is with passionate or ignorant, some kind of way or other. That's why they approach the different demigods. So that's why we do not take any, either it is by the devotees or initiated devotees or uninitiated devotees also.
Prabhu sometimes take me to the Sri Lankan temples, Prabhu.
Mm-hmm.
So when the prasadam time come, I'm the first one go downstairs and eat.
First prasadam, Mataji?
No, I mean I always feel hungry when I go to the temple. In Sri Lankan temples, in one is in High Archway.
Uh-huh.
So he asked me to come, and then I have to follow his. When he asked, I have to go with him, Prabhu, isn't it? Like, when husband asked,
Yeah.
then I eat the prasadam over there.
So if there is no other alternative, and also if you are starving and then remembering only Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna mantra again, do whatever all you are able to do it at that particular time. Yat karoshi, yat juhosi, yat asnasi, yat juhosi, dadasi, yat tapasvasi kaunteya, kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you are doing, just do it as an offering to me, Krishna says, based on time, place, and circumstances. Uh, That is the only thing. But if you are in a well situated position, we respect them, but we take only the fruits, which is coming naturally from the nature. But prepare food preparation, prasadam preparation by other people, we mostly not take if we have that option.
Okay, Prabhu.
It will directly impact the consciousness. Though we may think that, but one thing is, if no one is eating any food, and food is going to be wasted and still it is good, then because that does not belong, I mean, no other people are having any desires for that food, and then when we are trying to, we do not want to waste that one, and
Yeah.
then thinking that, oh my dear Lord, so I'm accepting this one as a prasada only. In such a way one can accept with some kind of prayers as well.
Because sometimes I see ISKCON devotees visit there, and they sometimes I've seen them having it, so I wasn't sure about.
Is it Lord Shiva is the deity, Mataji?
No, it's Lord Muruga, Lord Subramanian.
Yeah, again, so they use onions and garlic. So
They do, yes.
yeah, we do not take. Strictly no. There is no question to think of it. Strictly no. Not only that temple, but many other temples. If it is not Vishnu or Krishna temple, immediately first thing is stop and then think, is it needed? And then is it mandatory or optional? Am I starving to death or not? These are the things that we need to question ourselves. And still it is possible. I have to take it means then you have to offer some prayers to the Lord and then somewhere or other without disrespecting it. So it is self-explanatory. You will get all the knowledge in due course of time when we are in the chanting, following regulative principles.
Okay, good.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
It's like if we're saying about being humble and respecting each other, and your friend invites you to their church. how is it that you can refuse it? It's like Haridas Thakur, isn't it? He was invited and he was honored, and he accepted, he reciprocated. Because I also heard another lecture not long ago. They're saying about this body is a waste, a bag of chemicals, and it's, you know, it kind of a big begs the question about how do you polish respect that body so much with prasadam and what you eat, instead of respecting God, that kind of attitude, that kind of question. So it's very confusing when you listen to different lectures and what people say. But this point about Haridas Thakur accepting and honored by Advaita Prabhu was a good lesson to how we should be with people, and how you should reciprocate as a visitor. I'm a bit confused on that part.
Um,
And I know I know what you're saying is what the book says, and when you initiate it, that's what you have to promise and everything. I am aware of all that, so that's probably what caused all the confusion as well.
yes, Mataji. So as Prabhupada mentions, and also the scriptures also, here we see here, directly the Lord only speaking here. The Lord only says that if Brahmanas are eaten, so I am more relation. I eat through the mouth of the Brahmanas. And also the food is the sanctity of the food, it should be prepared within the temple by the devotees. But other times, like different places, that center point is not Krishna. Then we have to simply, if we have option, just kindly, politely, not accept it.
Prabhu, can you expand on the onions and garlic a bit more, because they say strict, but it's not clear what they're saying. Why?
So onion is in the mode of passion, garlic is in mode of ignorance. It is pungent tastes, they are very sharp. And there is again a pastime of garlic, onion and garlic. So Prabhupada describes that one of the pastimes. Once upon a time, the Brahmana, he used to go to the animal sacrifices, chant the mantras before the animal is sacrificed. So once these Muslim people or the Mlechas, they wanted to do such kind of things, they invite Brahmana, and Brahmana was chanted those mantras, and they have done the sacrifice of the animal. It's a kind of cow. So later on, these people are trying to eat different parts of this cow. And here, Brahman also, somewhere or other, he wanted to eat that the flesh of the cow. So something he felt that way. Uh, but once those people, the mlechas, they have taken all the flesh and everything else, there are bones are left, like the legs and then the hooves. And then what this Brahmana, once they left, he went there and took some of those things and brought and is trying to save uh, for himself to cook later on. So he has kept somewhere under the ground, buried them, and then so that no one would observe him. But he went home and then he forgot, and later on he comes back and see that one. And then when he was seeing there these onions and garlics plants were grown out of it. What is
Oh,
legs are like a onions, and also hooves are like a garlics. So, and then Brahmana, somewhere or other, it is not in the form of the bones, but he took that onions and garlics and home. That is how we see their mode of ignorance and passion. We should not eat, otherwise it is treating as a eating the flesh of a cow.
all right. I never heard that before. Yeah. Because when I do book distribution, like the highest taste little book, people ask me, it's well proven, and science shows that garlic is one of the most pure thing, cleansing and disinfect your blood and gives you protection against virus and all the germs around you. So, and I in the medical field, this is something we promote, in our dietary thing. So they do question it, and sometimes I haven't got the answer as clear as I'd like to.
Yes, so we can just in the Google about Vani quotes if Prabhupada describes this pastime.
What is it? Venicus, yeah.
Yeah, onion, garlic, and Prabhupada's explanation on it.
Yeah.
It's same story, but I have just condensed those words.
Okay, thank you.
But this onion, garlic, it is only a bodily thing, so people wanted to take the sharp and pungent taste. It is more of the passion and ignorance. Uh, Krishna also mentions in the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita about the different kinds of foods, what can be consumed.
Yeah.
Bhalarogya Sukhapriti Vivardhanaha. They are all in the mode of goodness. They increase the lifespan. But onion and garlics, they do not increase the lifespan. They only change the consciousness, may keep the body in the mode of working. Sometimes people they take the tablets to be more active. We should not take that one. Or getting more strength. Such kind of sedatives or such kind of things cannot be given to the body. We can take those vitamin supplements because of this we do not get the proper sunlight, and
Yeah.
the complex tablets it may be needed, but not the sedatives, such kind of things to drugs kind of thing, most drugs. Okay, so that is so the essence of this one is only whatever offered to the Lord as a naivedya that we can accept as a prasadam.
There is a devotee when I started in the COVID time in a group. She insisted that the Lord is everything and He gives us everything, and if we offer Him garlic and onion, that's no problem.
That is nonsense thing because they don't
Yeah,
have
and we were challenging her, and then she said, even in Ekadashi, she said, you don't have to cook Ekadashi for the Lord, you give him whatever. But you eating Ekadashi food, so you're going to offer him Ekadashi food anyway. So, yeah, you do have people come across people who are very strong about these belief system, and you cannot try and help them to look, a different way.
Yes, Mataji, it is.
But then I also get, I'm a bit, thinking they are right in a way. You're feeding the body, which is a waste anyway. So why worry about what the body you're doing to the body? You got to feed the spiritual, the soul.
Yeah.
So it's all those
But,
questioning, but
yeah,
only
we need to feed the soul, but the soul is residing in the body.
residing in the body. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to look after it very nicely so that as long as we are here, keep the body clean and then maintain as much as needed, but not focus on the body, but looking out for the sake of the soul.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the end, I have to say I don't have all the answers, but I could find out for you. and take their contact and keep in touch. That's one way.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing that one. Okay, so any other updates or anyone sharings? Okay, Devati, you want to go once more recitation of this verse, and then later we chant. Again in the same order as you recited before. Krishna Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu. Mahantasami yajamanavirutane Jyota Jyota Klata Padana Bhutapumukena Yadramanasya Mukachato Anugasam Tustasya Maya Vahitene Chakarmatakehi.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, no Kanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Naham tatadmi yajamana mahavirvitane shyotad grata plutam adahuta bhun mukhena yad brahmanasya mukhatas charato nugasam tustasya maya iter nijakama pake. Can I try again, Prabhu? I couldn't see it very well. Naham tatadmi yajamana havirvitane Hyotad grita plutamadam uta mukhena yad brahma masya nasya mukataschara to nughansam tustasya maya pibitir nijakarma pake.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Gaurangi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay. Naham tathadi yajamana havirvitane shujo tadgrita bluta madan bhuta bhumulken yad brahmanasya mukha tasaradonughasam tustasya matya bahitair nija karma pakeha. Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Prabhavati Mataji, would you like to do?
Hare Krishna. Naham tadami yajamana vitane shodat krita plutam adhuta bun mukenam yad brahmanasya mukascharato nugasam tustasya maya avahitair nijakarma pakaihi. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji, please.
नाहं तथास्मि यजमान हविर्विताने शूद्रग्रहे उत्तम अदं भूतमुखेन यश ब्राह्मणस्य मुखशस्त्रतो उपाश्यं तत्तस्य मायवतय निजकर्मपक्के च.
Very nice. Very beautiful. Anyone would like to read the translation once more? Just only translation, and then we conclude.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I do not enjoy the obligations in the sacrificial fire, which is one of my own mouth, with the same relish as I do the delicacy overflowing with ghee, which I offer to the mouths of the Brahmanas, who have dedicated to me the result of their activities and who are ever satisfied with my prasad.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So this is a very beautiful thing. Okay, so we shall conclude here. And dear devotees, if you have got anything to share, kindly share, or we shall move to the next part. Japa, continue with Japa.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very beautiful verse. Thank you for explaining.
Thank you so much, Mataji. When devotees are together, it is so beautiful. We can really shower just like a prasadam. Chaturvida Bhagavad Prasada Swadhanna Truptan Haribhak Prasangan. Krutvaiva Truptim Bhajata Sadaiva. Truptim is satisfaction. Bhajataha Sadaiva. When we worship the Lord with the spiritual master and devotees, it is so relishing. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Okay, so shall we conclude? Unless
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
Vaishnavijyo
नमो
Namo
नमः
Namaha.
अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द
Ki
जय
Jai. Srila
शिलप्रभुपाद की
Prabhupada Ki Jai.
जय Hare Krishna conscious everyone. Hare
Prabhu, they do say Grantaraj Bhagavatam Ki Jai as well when you finish. Is that right?
Mataji ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम नित्यम भागवत सेवया की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय.
Yeah. Should we say that?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mataji. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री